Hi, good morning. Today we are going to start our next section, the transpose of a linear transformation. Okay, we are defining the transpose as the theorem. Now, what is transpose of a linear transformation? Now, the theorem says that let V and W be vector spaces over the field F. For each linear transformation T from V into W, for each linear transformation T from V into W, there is a unique linear transformation T transpose. This is the notation for transpose of a linear transformation. T transpose from W star into V star such that T transpose G of alpha equal to G of T of alpha for every G in W star and alpha in V. Okay. So here we have T is a linear transformation from V into W. Okay. T is a linear transformation from V into W. The theorem says that for each linear transformation there exists a unique linear transformation uh, T transpose T trans. This is the notation for T from W star to V star. Okay, so you have to note one thing. This is from W star. W star means set of all linear function to another set of all linear function on V. Here, set of all linear functional on W. This is set of all linear functional on V star. So T transpose of G. But if G is any linear functional. So G is a map from W to F. So we can define G as G of some, okay, element in W, some beta. W is equal to some value, some K or like this. Now what about V star? V star is a map from set of all linear. So some F contained in V star implies V from V to and F of alpha equal to some K1, K2 or like this. So this is a linear function. Now what about G of T of alpha? G of T alpha. Here defined like this. What is G of T alpha? For alpha belongs to V, T alpha belongs to W, and we are defining G sum m from okay W to F. Therefore, G of T alpha clearly belongs to F. So we are defining like this. Once again, I am repeating the definition. T transpose from W star into V star such that T transpose G of alpha equal to G of T alpha. And this is true for every G in W star and alpha belongs to V. Clear? So now moving to proof. Let V and W be vector spaces over the field F. T is a linear transformation from V into W. And G is a linear functional on W. G is a linear functional on W. Here we are taking for every G belongs to W star. For every G belongs to W star means G is a linear functional in W. Okay. So that is T from V to W. W is a G from W to F. W is a G is a linear function. Therefore, if you consider G composition T, T from V to W, G from W to F. Therefore, G composition T is from V to F. Okay. So, G composition T is a map from V to F. Therefore, this is a linear functional on V. Why T is linear, G is linear. Therefore, G composition T is also linear. This is from V to F. Therefore, this is a linear functional on V. Now we are assuming or we suppose that let is f is equal to g composition t. Then what is f of alpha? G composition t of alpha. That is g of t of alpha. So g of earlier we have defined like this. G of some beta equal to k means this g is a linear function on w. Therefore this f is a actually uh, Okay, um clear this already we have discussed. F is linear since G and T are linear. Okay, now F is actually a map from F is a linear function on W. Now we are defining a map T transpose from W star to V star by T transpose G equal to F. Clearly F belongs to W star. F is a map from, as decomposition, F is a map from V to W. Clearly F is from V to F. That means F belongs to V star. So here we define a map T transpose from W star to V star by T transpose G is equal to F. Now T transpose G of alpha is equal to F of alpha, and this is true for every alpha belongs to V. And T transpose G of alpha equal to G of T alpha, that is T transpose G equal to G composition T. Okay, this is the definition. Now we have to prove that this T transpose is a linear transformation from W star to V star. Clearly T transpose is a map from W star to V star. We have chosen G from W star and here F is in V star. Now to prove T transpose is linear, you take 2 points G1, G2 belongs to W star and C belongs to F. So T transpose of C G1 plus G2 of alpha is equal to, here we have to prove that T transpose C G1 plus G2 is equal to C T transpose G1 plus T transpose G2. This is what we are to prove. Each of these are function, therefore we have to prove that T transpose Cg1 plus G2 of alpha equal to C T transpose G1 plus T transpose G2 of alpha. This is what we have to prove. So T transpose C1, Cg1 plus G2 of alpha equal to, by definition, Cg1 plus G2 of T alpha, and that's equal to Cg1 of T alpha plus G2 of T alpha. That's equal to C into G1 of T alpha plus G2 of T alpha. That is C into T transpose G1 of alpha plus T transpose G2 of alpha, and which is equal to C T transpose G1 plus T transpose G2 of alpha. Okay, therefore T transpose C1 G1 plus G2 is equal to C1 T transpose G1 plus T transpose G2, because this is true for every alpha. Therefore, this T transpose is a linear transformation. Now here we have to prove there exists a, there is one, there is a unique linear transformation. So now we are going to prove the uniqueness part. So we are assuming let it T1 and T2 be transposes of the same linear transformation T, and we have to prove that T1 is equal to T2. Okay, here we are defining T1 of G equal to of alpha equal to G of T alpha. Here T2 G of alpha is equal to G of T alpha. Okay, so what is the T1 G of alpha is equal to, both right hand side are equal, therefore T1 G of alpha equal to T2 G of alpha for every alpha belongs to V. This implies T1 G is equal to T2 G, and this is true for every G belongs to W star. Therefore T1 is equal to T2. Therefore transpose T transpose is unique. Okay. Now moving to the definition. Let T be a linear transformation from V to W. Then the transpose of T is a mapping from W star into V star denoted by T transpose, and it is defined as T transpose G of alpha equal to G of T alpha for every alpha belongs to V. Then this transformation T transpose is often called the adjoint of T. Okay, so T transpose means T transpose G of alpha equal to G of T alpha. This is often called adjoint of T. Okay, now we are moving to theorem 22. This is one of the most important results. Okay, usually ask for exams. Okay. Now let V and W be vector spaces over the field F. Let T be a linear transformation from V into W. Okay. Then the null space of T transpose is the annihilator of range of T. Then the null space of T transpose is the annihilator of range of T. Okay. That is what is null space of T transpose. Null space of T transpose you can write like this. Null space of T transpose equal to annihilator of range of T annihilator. For here I am denoting n of T transpose and this is equal to R of T annihilate. This is what we have to prove. Also we have to prove if V and W are finite dimensional, then rank of T transpose equal to rank of T. Also the range of T transpose is the annihilator of null space of T. That is range of T transpose. R of T transpose is equal to annihilator of null space of T. That means null space of T annihilate. This is what we have to prove. Here we have to prove three results. First one this one, second and third one this one. Okay. Now given T is a linear transformation from V to W, we have to prove null space of T transpose is equal to annihilator of range of T. So what is range of T annihilator? What is W naught? We have W naught is equal to, if W is a subspace of V, W naught is equal to set of O linear functional on V star such that f of alpha equal to 0 for every alpha belongs to W, where W is a subspace of V. Now here what about range of T? Here range of T is a subset of T is a map from V to W, so range of T is a subset of W. So range of T annihilator means set of all. Here W is a subspace of V means set of all F belongs to V star. Here R of T subset of W, therefore set of all G belongs to W star. Okay. W subset of V means F belongs to V star. R of T subset of W means set of all G belongs to W star, such that G of alpha equal to 0 for every alpha belongs to range of T. Now, what is null space of T transpose? Null space of T transpose. T transpose is a map from W star to V star. So, null space is a subset of W star. So, set of all G belongs to W star such that T transpose G equal to 0. And G belongs to W star such that T transpose of G alpha equal to 0 for every alpha belongs to V. And this equal to 0 means by definition this is G of T alpha equal to 0 for every alpha belongs to V. So this is same as set of all G belongs to W star such that G of beta equal to 0 for every beta in R of T. For every alpha belongs to V, T alpha belongs to range of T. Therefore, this is same as G of beta equal to 0 for every beta belongs to range of T, and which is equal to range annihilator of range of T. This is the annihilator of range of T. Set of for G belongs to W star such as G of alpha equals 0 for every alpha belongs to R of T. And here just only notation change. G of beta equals 0 for every beta belongs to R of T. Okay. Now moving to the another important result. Prove that rank of T transpose is equal to rank of T. Okay. Usually ask for 7 marks. Oh, sorry, 2 weightage. 2 weightage, that means 10 marks. Okay, suppose that V and W are finite dimensional. Say the dimension of V equal to n and the dimension of W equal to m. Now let R be rank of T and dimension of, that is the dimension of range of T. So by rank nullity theorem we get T transpose is a map from W star to V star. We are applying rank nullity theorem for T transpose. So rank of T transpose plus nullity of T transpose equal to here space starting from W star. Therefore dimension of W star. That is rank of T transpose plus nullity of T transpose is equal to dimension of W, which is because dimension of W star equal to dimension of W, which is equal to M. So rank of T transpose is equal to M minus nullity of T transpose. Okay, and this is equal to M minus dimension of null space of T transpose. Nullity means dimension of null space of T transpose. But null space of T transpose is same as annihilator of range of T. Therefore, rank of T transpose is equal to m minus dimension of range of T annihilator of range of T. Okay. So this is our first result. Now we know that W is a subspace of V. Okay. Then dimension of W plus dimension of W naught is equal to dimension of V. We have this result also. Here range of T is a subspace of W. Therefore, dimension of range of T plus dimension of range of T annihilator equal to dimension of W, and which is equal to M. That is dimension of range of T equal to M minus dimension of range of T, annihilator of range of T. That is rank of T equal to M minus dimension of annihilator of range of T. Here from 1 and 2 we get rank of T equal to rank of T transpose. Okay. And the last result, we have to prove range of T transpose is equal to annihilator of null space of T. Okay. For this, we are going to prove range of T is a subset of annihilator of annihilator of T, null space of T, and then we prove dimension of range of T transpose equal to dimension of null space of T transpose. If we prove this and both are this dimension are equal, then clearly that means range of T transpose is equal to null space annihilator of null space of T. Okay, to prove W equal to V, it is enough to prove that W is a subset of V and dimension of W equal to dimension of V. Because if W is a proper subspace of V, then we have one result, dimension of W is strictly less than dimension of V. So if that means if W is a subset of V and if this condition holds, that means clearly W equal to V. That's what we are going to prove here. We are proving R of T transpose is contained in annihilator of null space of T. For this, let F belongs to range of T transpose. Now, what is the meaning of that? F belongs to T transpose is a map from W star to V star. Range of T transpose clearly contained in V star. So we are choosing some F belongs to V star. F belongs to range of T trans. That means there exists a G belongs to W star such that T transpose G equal to F. F belongs to range. F belongs to range of T transpose means there exists a G belongs to W star such that G of T transpose of G equal to F. T transpose G equal to F, T transpose G of alpha equal to F of alpha for every alpha belongs to V, that is G of T alpha equal to F of alpha for every alpha belongs to V, that is if alpha belongs to N of, okay, G of T alpha equal to F of alpha for every alpha belongs to V. Now let alpha belongs to N of T. Okay, but we have to prove, we have F from R of T transpose and we have to prove F belongs to null space of T, annihilator of null space of T. Okay, so let alpha belongs to N of T, then T alpha equal to 0, then G of T alpha is equal to G of 0 which is equal to 0, therefore F of alpha equal to 0. Therefore if you take any alpha belongs to N of T, then F of alpha equal to 0. Therefore F of alpha equal to 0 for every alpha belongs to N of T. This implies F belongs to annihilator of null space of T. Therefore, range of T is a subset of annihilator of null space of T. Okay. Now we have null space of T is a subspace of V. We are using the result dimension of null space of T plus dimension of annihilator of null space of T equal to dimension of V. Dimension of annihilator of null space of T equal to dimension of V minus dimension of null space of T. But we know that dimension of null space of T is dimension of V minus dimension of null space of T is same as rank T, that is dimension of range of T, and which is equal to rank of T, that is rank of T transpose. Thus we get dimension of null space of T annihilator is equal to dimension of range of T transpose. That means thus we get rank of T transpose is subset of null space of T transpose and dimension of range of T transpose is equal to dimension of annihilator of null space of T. This implies range of T transpose is equal to null annihilator of null space of T. Thus, we have proved three results. Rank of T transpose is equal to rank of T. Range of T transpose is equal to annihilator of null space of T. Similarly, null space of T transpose is equal to annihilator of range of T. Okay. Hope everything is clear. That's all for today's class. Okay.